Welcome to the 2020 Virtual Candidate Forum. Our desire is to create informed voters by giving the Plant City community an opportunity to meet every candidate on their ballot.
At the Greater Plant City Chamber of Commerce, we are a connector and convener in the community of current and rising leaders. When we all work together, we are Plant City Strong.
This event would not be possible without community involvement. We would like to thank Tampa Electric, Fried Egg Productions, South Florida Baptist Hospital, the Hillsborough County Farm Bureau, and the many other generous supporters.
Without further ado, let's hear from this candidate.
Good morning. My name is Arlie Snood. I'm with the Greater Plant City Chamber of Commerce, and I have the pleasure of serving on the Government Affairs Committee. Our committee has prepared a few questions for every candidate on the ballot running for a position that will represent residents of the Plant City community. Today, I'm here with Dr. Sonja Brookins, who's running for Soil and Water Conservation District 4. Dr. Brookins, will you please give us a quick introduction of yourself so our viewers can get to know you?
Hi, my name is Dr. Brookins, and yes, I am running for the Soil and Water Conservation District 4, and it is a nonpartisan position which is countywide throughout Hillsborough County. Thank you.
Wonderful. Can you give us a quick detail about you and your background?
Sure. I retired as a science teacher for the Hillsborough County School District. I worked as a department head over at Franklin Middle School when it was labeled under the pre-law academy. I worked throughout the district, Warden High School, North Tampa, Alternative School, and just got involved with a lot of things. As I was teaching, I made sure that my children and the young adults that I taught at Hillsborough Community College as well as Pasco Hernando College, that the environment was very important, and that if we don't plant the seed for it today, then there will be no environment. So I made sure that that message was used on my platform as I was teaching, even though I was teaching science, but I put a little extra emphasis on the environment.
Wonderful. And you touched on it a little bit, but can you elaborate of why you're running for office?
Well, I'm running, my initial reason for running, I was blessed to have grandparents that we took trips up to Archer, Florida. And I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's near Gainesville. And just ride down there every other weekend looking at the trees. And then we went on to our family farm. And we had a farm, well, we still have the farm that's probably 100 acres, just estimating. And all the family members would come there and we would barbecue, and I would see my Uncle Bubba, plant his watermelons, and my other uncle, Richard, would be doing his thing. And my grandmother, she would have all her sisters, and I want to say it was about 12 of them, and they would all be doing different things on the farm. So it made me respect the environment, and it set the seed for me. So I'm just grateful that I was able to spend that time with them. And this is why I'm running for Soil and Water, because it's such an important issue that needs to be addressed. Especially now we talk about environmental justice. When I was on that farm, it was about environmental justice. Everything was done and everything was respected. The cows were over there in their little area, the pigs, the chickens, and we had a stream with fish out there, and the men in the family would be sitting around fishing. So it just brings back good memories for me, and this is what I want to see again in life.
Wonderful. I have a question that maybe more people than we wish would like answered. But what does soil and water and conservation actually do? Why do we need it?
Well, you need it to mandate the policies that's going on. You need it, the practices and the procedures. And I'm glad you brought that question up. I do believe that the soil and water needs to be more transparent, because most people like you don't know what is it that they do. Now, they're probably familiar, like during the fair time when the kids do their agriculture assignments or their projects, the soil and water is visible there. They're educating the kids, they're supporting the kids. They have a poster contest that the kids participate in. And most people, this is all they see of soil and water, you know, that they help out and they advocate to make sure these kids are educated and getting assistance with working on their project. But soil and water has so many issues. You know, we're dealing with the air, the land, and the water. And we all drink water. The last time I checked, we all need water, and we can't survive without water. So this is my input on it, that the soil and water is something that needs to impact our communities as well as our health. We need to go out here in our marginalized neighborhoods, and we need to let people know this is not just about a glass of water. You have chemicals in there to kill certain bacteria. You need this. Your health is a reflection of what you put in your body. And most of us, we just pick up water. We don't think about the ingredients in that water. We don't think about the cleanliness of that water, or we don't think about the accessibility of that water. So we need to make sure all neighborhood, all communities, you know, are educated and make sure they're doing things that we need to do. There are solar panels, just to switch over to other things that happens. We're in this push now to get solar panels on houses and buildings, because it does lower the electrical bills. And I'm sure we all like to have a little bit money in our pocket. So these are things, the rebates for the solar panels is a big thing that's going on. I saw the other day on Facebook about the windows. Now they're going in there reinstalling windows. You know, the fortunate families, they have those things, but there are some neighborhoods that they don't have those things. They don't even think about those things with the air coming in and out of the window or their electrical bill. They're trying to survive and struggle with paying those bills. So again, these are things that soil and water can be a help for, with making sure these families are living an effective life, you know, so they don't have to suffer. Let's look at building a house. You know, we don't think about going in there doing a soil evaluation to make sure we're not building a house on top of a cesspool. Or you have the things in the news about the graveyards right now. That's a big subject. We don't think about things like that when we're getting ready to build a house. We're so excited. Oh, girl, I got a house coming now. And girl, it's got 5 bedrooms, but there's more to it than the beauty of that exterior. We need to go beneath that house.
So during your time in office, what do you plan to do specifically for the Plant City community, if you have an answer to that, or more broadly, but anything you can say specific to the Plant City community?
Well, to the Plant City community, there are families there that are marginalized too. It's not just in our Black and Hispanic neighborhoods. We need to go out there. We need to reach out to these families. We need to reach out to these farmers so we can get a soil analysis. And the sad thing, we're losing a lot of our farms. And we don't need to lose those things. We need to step up and we need to see what is it that we need to do. You know, I see all the time where certain politicians, and there's nothing wrong with this, they're happy to feed the families, you know, but nobody thinks about the farmer out here. What is it that farmer needs? You know, he's the one that's bringing the food to feed those families. So we have to check the soil. We have to utilize hemp. We have to see what role can hemp play into the farming industry. And from my research, that there's a lot of things that we still don't know, that we need to sit down at the table and say, hey, this is what these families need. You know, we know you write policy and you do all these other things, but this is what this family needs in order to stay afloat of things that occur. Also, you know, it's just improving the family life is what my main goal is.
Wonderful. And if elected, what's your #1 priority for your first term in office?
My #1 priority is environmental justice. It's no secret, we're in a civil movement right now. And the civil movement, even though they're talking about Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, blue lives matter, family life matters as well. And that's my main thing. When I look at the environmental justice, I'm looking at what is it that I can do to change this family's life. So that's my main thing. My second thing would be looking at climate change. Climate change, environmental justice, and accessible to clean water. Those 3 things go together. We can't separate those things. I know you asked me for one thing, but in my mind, these things work together. If I'm neglecting one, I'm neglecting the other 2. You know, we can't just look at the grounds. We have to look at the house on the ground is what I'm looking at.
Is there anything else that you'd like viewers to know before we wrap up?
Yes, I need viewers to understand I have a great passion for family. And, you know, pictures that you see of me around, it's about family. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and most important is I'm an advocate for change. I want to change the narrative. I want to create a diversified board so we can understand the input from all avenues. And I just want to be there to be given an opportunity to show that we can do this together. It's not about me making promises. I don't care about making promises. What I care about is what change can I bring into your life to create a better environment and to impact your family's health.
Wonderful. Dr. Brookins, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your time and the opportunity to speak with you.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure.